Hi folks, I'm Josh, and this is Panoramical, a game about smushing together visuals and audio in really beautiful ways and linking them up. And it's very experimental in both the way you play it and the way it's put together. But first off, photosensitivity warning. So I'm really sorry if you can't, if you got problems with that, then just not the game for you. I apologize, but let me show you my favorite one of these 10, I think there's 10 tracks here you start off with. And if we go in, show you how you control it with Q, W, E, A, S, D, Z, X, and C. If you hold down those buttons and then drag your mouse around, you add in visual elements as well as audio things. So you can drag it around in this kind of grid and it changes like the speed or the volume, or I don't know, something about how strong or subtle a different element is. And this is kind of like trees of spiky trees of color, and I kind of like it. This is why it's my favorite, because it's so colorful. Let me show you my favorite bit though. It's an arpeggio of rings, concentric rings of light in the sky, and it's just stunning. If we drag it around, this is probably the easiest to see how different the, you know, where you put your thingy on the grid is. So it's kind of plinky plonky over here with orchestral violins doing the, what's the name for the plinky thing where you kind of pluck the strings instead of drawing your bow across it? Whatever, that. And then it's a bit more ravey, but also a lot more subtle. And if you go full right, there's a synthesizer in there as well. All in, please. And then there's bubbles, a sea of bubbles, and then evil mountains in the background, and also clouds, cloud bubble mountain rave, and it's really cool. You can customize the sound to whatever floats your boat, really. So one thing I don't like in this is probably this kind of weird effect. Oh, I changed my mind. That's really cool if we go all the way. It's kind of weird if it's all the way down there. But if we put it up there, now that is very, very different. It's kind of more rough looking, and there's bit crush effects, because if you put too much into the game, then you're going to end up with some really powerful strain on your computer. I don't know what it uses, but wow, we could just go all the way in, and it's really super chaotic and hard to listen to, honestly. Oh, that's really nice and plinky plonky up there. That's cool. It shouldn't surprise you to learn that one of the guys from Proteus, David Kanega, is involved in this. Proteus was amazing, and also Phil Fish. I think he helped either fund it or something like that, and Fez, such an amazing soundtrack. But let's move on to a different track, my absolute favourite, by, I believe, some of the people that are involved in No Man's Sky. And it shouldn't surprise you to learn that this one's really cool. They've got 2 other guests, and I think they're announcing a whole bunch of others after the release of the game. So you start off with these 3 and then they're going to add more. But we start off with this amazing bassy beat. So if we make that more powerful, please. Yes, please. It's like building up a song in your own fashion. You can get rid of elements you don't like this. This is weird. It looks weird, sounds weird, don't like it. Not going to use that. But some kind of No Man's Sky beating heart, you know, in the middle of the crystal? That right there is what that is. That's so cool. That's pretty cool, kind of spinny effect. I think there's a blurring effect over here somewhere. Oh, it's all so many colours. And there we go. Let's stick with which one? Let's stick with all of the kind of geometric shapes for now. And bubbles. Circles are geometric, right? More bubbles. I love bubbles. Oh, That's a really cool bit crushy bass there. That's nice. Make it all kind of... What's this, like a low pass filter? Wow, okay, now we're in hyperspace. Nice. And depending on which ones you use, you can entirely change how the music is presented and feels. Because this is a lot more kind of a chill out. No bass, nothing low. It's all like rhythm. It's all rhythm like here. Wow. Okay. Hang on. I love that. Love that bass. This is more kind of a traditional tune, I guess. It's had the weird bubbles in there that I don't really like. Can be cool though. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just kind of bopping along to this. It's awesome. So good. Right, everything in, please. That's not great. None of that. None of that. Less hyperspace. Wait, which one's that? This one? There we go. That's really cool. And I'm sorry to say, developers, that I really love the guest ones more than I do the ones who start with the ones made by the actual developers. But you know, it's like musical taste. Everything is entirely subjective, depending on how you feel about different things. It really can affect just what you enjoy in, and it'll affect what you make. So anything you see here can entirely change. If you had to go with this, playing is very, very different to watching. Hang on, let's stick with that and get rid of these circles. Which is the circles? No, not that. Get rid of those though. Where's the circles? No, not them. There we go. Do. Wiggle mad six. I'm gonna big old circles out of the water. That's the worst song I've ever sung. But you do what you want. This is entirely your creation and might not be good, but you'll have fun. I want to talk about synesthesia, which I don't know if it's an actual real thing. I'm pretty sure it's a real thing, but essentially it's the combination of sound, or not even just sound, just literally any of your senses combined with another sense to create a whole new feeling, a whole new understanding. And I don't know whether it's just kind of a general thing that humans can train themselves or describe. It's very difficult to describe, but I feel like this combination of sound and visuals is a look into someone else's synesthesia, because I don't think it works in the same way for everyone else. You know, you've got stronger links between, say, taste and sound. Like, you know, for me, when you see GIFs or like an animation and there's no sound, you can, or I can, understand what the sound of that animation would be in my head without hearing anything. If it's entirely silent, I create a sound in my head for what that animation would be. So like if it's a blinking red light, it might be a beep, or like if it's a dog, a pug, something prancing around on Imager, it could be like boing, 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 doggy dog, 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 dog. I spend a lot of time on Imager. Wasting? Maybe not wasting. Depends on how you look at it, really. That's really dark. Right there. And it could be a lot lighter. There we go. Really light. Lots of floating snotsicles is what they look like. Let's make it kind of daytime. There we are. But that's what I think this is, kind of a look into... Ooh, the water's gone all bubbly. A look into someone else's... how they combine the visual sense and the audio sense. And this one's really cool. My girlfriend likes this one. It's her favourite. Kind of reminds... Well, depending on how you configure it, you can sound like the XX. Duccio Kallio has made a lot of very cool games, and also like games about sound. This one's... All of these, I think, could definitely be their own music video. Oh, this one's all glitchy. This has got some really good glitch effects. And sometimes you can bring in a different instrument, depending on where you put it. There we go. And combination of them change how each instrument sounds. Yeah, I remember that screen. That's when you accidentally break your CRT monitor, right? That's what that looks like. Oh. Oh, the aliens have invaded. Cool. Let's turn it down. Because aside from like glitch effects, I don't know if you can see a cityscape that scrolls in there somewhere. Hang on, let's get the camera right. Whoa, that's one hell of a camera effect. Okay, that's cool. Oh, there we go. It's these bottom three. There's the cityscape. That's nice. I really like that. And you can either like mess around with it in time to the beat. Wow. Or you can just kind of leave it, find your favorite bit. That's cool, that's all ASCII. And guitar-y. Turns out guitar and ASCII text go well together. Who knew? It's giant. It's huge. I think there's an emoji one in here as well. That's just so good, and I really love this game. If any of this music is your kind of thing, some of it's more abstract, some of it's quite traditional, but it all works in its own way, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of the guest appearances, because you can definitely see the difference between how the developers and their composers have approached it in the kind of main group of levels, compared to how outsiders have used the same technology and just... Is that face down there? Sorry, I got distracted. The guest composers have used the same technology in an entirely different way, and it's so cool because this one's all about glitch effects and kind of post-processing weird stuff like moons and faces and bubbles. Whereas... Oh, that's cool. Maybe less glitch. No, hang on. There we are. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, they just use the same stuff in an entirely different way, and it's just the best. Thank you everyone for watching. If you want to discover more cool, free, fun, and weird indie games, then you can subscribe, and if you really love what I'm up to, then support me on Patreon, and you can get some cool rewards there as well. It's just, you know, the nice warm fuzzy feeling in your heart knowing you helped someone out. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!